Hello and welcome to episode number 350 right here. This is episode 350 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Raw for week 1 of April 2023. And in layman's terms, this does mean this is the go-home episode of Raw for WrestleMania 39. And, you know, we've got a couple of big matches set for tonight. We've got Gunther versus Randy Orton in the main event. You've got plenty of segments, plenty of face-to-face meetings for the last time. And, yeah, it's time for us to get right into the show and dive into the go-home show for WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio opens up the show. And, obviously, we get a recap of last week when he finally snapped and accepted his match with his son, Mask versus title for WrestleMania. And Rey says, you know, I really tried. I thought that I would stick to my word and I would not fight my son at WrestleMania, but somebody needs to teach him a lesson. And if that has to be me, then it has to be me. Because, Dom, you have been out of line for a lot of weeks now. You're out of line last week when you shoved me and you knocked your sister over. You're out of line 2 weeks ago and you shoved your own mother to the floor. And like I said last week, if anybody's going to knock you down a peg and remind you who you are and where you fall, it's going to be me. And if I can't beat you, I'll give you the mask. I'll bestow upon you the Mysterio legacy. And you can go ahead, because you'd have earned the right to have that mask. But quite frankly, you haven't earned anything. And you don't deserve anything after the way you've been treating your family the last few months. But first, before WrestleMania gets here, last week, we were so rudely interrupted. We hosted Cruiserweight Showcase match for the Trios Championship. Wes Lee took on Grand Metalik, and Anthony Nese came out after the match and disrespectful to the talents in the ring. But now I, in the ring, as the representation of Cruiserweight Wrestling here tonight, welcome Wes Lee and Pistolero to the ring. And let's kick Raw off the right way with some high-flying Cruiserweight action. And Dom, I'll see you this Sunday. And yeah, we get Wes Lee and Pistolero coming out. I do actually have the list of which days each matches are on. I do think Dominic and Rey is night 2, so yeah, this Sunday would be right. But yeah, first it's going to be MSK's Wes Lee against Pistolero of Death from Above. The Cruiserweight Trios match will actually be the first match of WrestleMania. I'm actually planning to do WrestleMania Kickoff as a different, event, a minor event. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. They might just all be me waffling and mean nothing, but what I'm thinking about doing is recording WrestleMania Kickoff as, a B event, one of the lesser events, and uploading it an hour before WrestleMania goes live. So, you can watch that and then get ready for the premiere of WrestleMania. Because, obviously, the video won't actually be an hour long. It'll probably be about 15 minutes, so that's fine. But yeah, it's going to be our first match. It's going to be Wes Lee and Pistolero here tonight. Gets an 84. You know, it feels weird to say a little bit disappointing, but, you know, I kind of am. Because Pistolero gets an 86, Wes Lee gets a 79. And it is Pistolero who picks up the win with a Revolution Fly in 14:39. 86 for Pistolero, 79 for Wes Lee. And now who will come out on top when these two trios fly it out and kick off WrestleMania Night 1 in style in that trios match? Because yeah, the Mania kickoff will have 2 matches each. Night 1 will have the Cruiserweight Trios title match and the Women's Battle Royal. And then Night 2 will have the Andre Battle Royal and LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley. Yeah, that is correct, I believe. Speaking of WrestleMania Night 1 will kick off with the Razor Ramon ladder match. And 2 of those participants, John Morrison and Mustafa Ali, meet up backstage. And Ali goes, hey John. He goes, so with WrestleMania only 5 days away, me and you were going to give it our all to become Intercontinental Champion. This has been our goal for the last 5 months. We've been going at it back and forth. There's been a lot of tension between me and you. I just want to let it know that none of it's ever personal. I know you've got the same goals as me. I want to be the Intercontinental Champion. You want to be the Intercontinental Champion. And may the best man win at WrestleMania. And I just want to know this is not done out of personal. I still have a lot of respect for you, and I still, wish you good luck this Saturday night. And John Morrison goes, well, that goes back to you because, well, if it wasn't for you wishing that open challenge, I never would have won the Intercontinental Championship in the first place last year. And for me to get that title back would mean a lot of shoosh. Okay, am I the only one around here? Okay, am I the only one who actually is focused on this match? All it is, oh, Angelo and Montez, please take me back. Morrison and Ali, oh, we're still friends, right? Sheamus going, oh, please, my dreams. Zergas has got duties with these tag team championships. He's not fully focused. Am I the only one here fully focused on this ladder match? Then Morrison's like, what are you doing here, Gable? And he's like, well, much to my disappointment, me and you two are teaming up tonight in a 6-man tag team match against Sheamus and the Street Profits as a preview of the ladder match this Saturday at WrestleMania. And, I'd say I want to come see if we're going to get on the same page, but you can't quite keep up with my intellect, so that's kind of hard. But it's time for you to, sit back and watch how a master gets it done. Because then maybe, just maybe, you might have a better shot at WrestleMania. Thank you. And Gable walks out, and they're like, we've really got a team with that asshole? And Ali goes, apparently so. But before that match, we get Kathy Kelly in the back with AJ and Finn. And she goes, AJ, tonight you're taking on Jeff Jarrett. He had a friend on the phone last week, and he's bringing somebody to Raw tonight. Are you concerned at all about who it's going to be? And AJ just goes, well, I'm not concerned at all, Kathy. Jeff Jarrett, he made a legacy out of winning world championships, getting himself over, coming over, making his own promotion. Like, he's sort of like Cody Rhodes in a way, but like not as good. Because every time Jeff Jarrett got to the top, I beat him. So at WrestleMania, that'll be no different. And as for Baron Corbin, he's a bum. Literally 4 months ago, he was begging for money. So it's just going to be me and Finn, WrestleMania against Corbin and Jeff. If he's going to have this new guy by his side, we got the Good Brothers by our side. They ain't here right now, but they'll be there this Saturday, and doesn't matter who it is, me and Finn are going to come out on top, because we are too sweet. 82 rating for the 6-man tag here, which is fine, because nobody got a brain tumour. But it is Sheamus and the Street Profits do pick up the win over Chad Gable, John Morrison, and Mustafa Ali, I imagine, because they can't coexist with Gable, because he's the only heel in this match. Like, I was trying to, I guess technically Angelo Dawkins also could be considered a heel, but I wanted him and Montez on the same team, and the Street Profits as a team are still face, but Angelo's a heel. He's a bit of a complex character right now. But yeah, Gable's the only heel in this team, in this match, basically. Only full heel. Angelo's more of a tweener, I'd say. And yeah, Zergas isn't in the match because, he's got tag team title stuff to take care of as well. So Gable takes the pin, Angelo Dawkins pins him, because I felt like I've beaten Dawkins a fair bit. And I need to give him a big win because he is still the champ, 80 for both members of the Street Profits, 82 for Sheamus, 84 for Gable and Ali, and a 75 for John Morrison. I guess that's fine, yeah, sure. And yeah, Gable eats the pin here because I guess his shenanigans caught up to him. We then cut backstage to catering. Ivy Niles just chilling in catering. She's talking to Indy, Tegan, and Kylie. Just the baby-faced mid-card girls on Raw. When Alexa sort of walks in, she goes, and Ivy goes, oh, 2 sex girls. Then Ivy walks after and goes, yes. Alexa goes, so, how you doing? And she goes, I'm fine. Why? She goes, he didn't seem too fine last week. You spent all this time, you and Tatum, being so ungrateful about what I did for you. And last week I actually helped you get a win, and that's how you repay me, by walking out. And Ivy just goes, I don't want my wins to have asterisks next to them because the general manager helped me out, Alexa. I want to win on my own. And she goes, oh, isn't that adorable? Well, you might want to rethink this whole thing, because when I embarrassed Tatum at WrestleMania, and I'm still the general manager come here next week, you might want to regret picking this fight, because, trust me, Ivy, it's better to have me as an ally than as an enemy, as we have learned last week, and as we'll learn at WrestleMania. So, just choose carefully which side you want to be on, okay? And she sort of pats her on the back and goes, okay, go back to catering, and, because you're not booked tonight, go back to catering and eat catering with the rest of the girlies that aren't booked on this show. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Logan Paul makes his way out to the ring, and he's laughing and joking. He goes, you see Dolph Ziggler, it's 5 days from tonight, night 1 of WrestleMania Saturday. You finally get your big break. After all these years, old DZ being held back by the Machine, floundering. He couldn't get on WrestleMania to save his life. He was never good enough for a singles opportunity until now, until Logan Paul showed up and handed you the spotlight. Okay? The weird thing about this is, I'm the outsider, I'm the rookie here, but yet I'm the star, and I'm giving the spotlight to a vet, I'm helping bring everybody up with my presence, whereas you just tried to get yourself over all these years, Dolph. That's the difference between me and you. I'm generous, and you're selfish. And out comes Ziggler. Ziggler goes, you're running their mouth a lot, Logan, Quite frankly, we've done this back and forth, quite a bit recently. I'm done talking, I'm ready for a fight. And we're going to fight on Saturday night. But who says we have to wait till then? Then Ziggler starts walking down to the thing, and Logan goes, whoa, chill, Dolph, chill. Okay. I'm gonna back out and say no to this, because I'm going to save you the embarrassment, okay? Because if you pick this fight right now against me, a pro boxer, a pro athlete, my iron fist on your chin, you won't be seeing WrestleMania. You'll be seeing stars, okay? And not the kind of stars you're seeing right now, okay? Literal stars, because I'm knocking you loopy. Go and ask anyone I've stepped into a boxing ring with how that works out. And Ziggler goes, yeah, you're right. You got a lot of balls stepping into the boxing ring, King. You did knock out a lot of people, but this isn't boxing, this is WWE. And you can't hold a candle to me. And then Logan tries to run away, but then Damian Priest, Ken Cobain, and Emerson Frost are on the apron, and Logan Paul is like, whoa, boys. Okay? I don't want to fight with you, this is me and your boy. Okay? So if you go can hop away and, get out of my business, okay, that'll be great. And then Logan turns around, he eats a super kick. Dolph Ziggler drops Logan Paul with a super kick. And then Ziggler goes, oh, well, what do you know? ODZ still got it, I guess. See you Saturday. Drops the mic. And he leaves. So Logan Paul finally eats a super kick from Dolph Ziggler. And, yeah. But the feud was already basically set. I'd had to get one more week out of it, and that seemed like the best thing to do. That's going to be a lot of this show. A lot of this show is mainly just going to be, I've basically finished building up this match already. How do I get one more week out of it? Speaking of, we then head to the Titus World Record Studio. And it's them four. And they're showing, My Wrestling Academia boys around. Manny, Dio, Saray, Garland, and Sensei. And Manny goes, Titus, why have you called us in here? And he goes, just hold up. Okay, wait. Yes. I know that we've got a lot of physical training. And we're all physically trained out, and we're all ready to whip the resistance at WrestleMania this Sunday. But what's our mental state like? We need mental motivation, mental training going into that match, because we can't let them win. And us here at Titus World records know just the way to do it with a motivational song. So me as the head of the label, and, Shanky, Truth, and Billy, we've recruited a little help from our newest friend to create what'd you call it? A diss song on the Resistance. And Manny goes, well, can we play it? And Titus goes, we will in a sec. We must get the expert artist in here, and all we have to do to get him here is say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry pops out of one of the cupboards. He goes, "What's up, boys? So, got you may have heard, Carrying Cross as a Bore, the hit song from last month. Well, how about you take a listen to this bad boy?" Titus World Records. One day at a convention, our heroes first met. Then soon their perfect world met a brand new threat. They tried to take them down back in the summer, but they came up just short. That was quite the bummer. But then came their new allies, about all kinds of guys. The Resistance's new downfall would finally arise. RKC, they're the friends of you and me. Combining all our powers is the one and only key. RKC, they're the friends of you and me. The power of friendship shall lead to victory. RKC, they're the friends of you and me. But don't forget Titus, Sensei, and Shanky. RKC, they're the friends of you and me. Now we're all together, reaching out to me by saying the name of Joe Hendry. By saying the name of Joe Hendry, the prestigious one. And then Manny goes, "It's perfect. Where have you been all my life?" And Hendry just sort of shrugs his shoulders and goes, "I've always been here, Manny. You just had to say my name." So, of course, we've got to get the motivational Joe Hendry. I mean, literally, as I'm recording this, I have no idea what it sounds like. Or, what it is. But I know it's goated, so it's fine. 82 for this match. Trish and Lita go shake off their ring rust against Live for Battle, the Women's Tag Team Champions. And they do. They pick up the win here tonight in 11:26. Trish pins Shida with a Stratisfaction. 67 for Trish, 58 for Lita, 83 for Shida, and a 73 for Liv. And yeah, if that happens this Sunday, I believe this is on Sunday, we'll have new Women's Tag Team Champions. But of course there is a third team in that match, that being Toni Storm and Ruby Riott, the Rebellion. But yeah, Trish and Lita shaking off their ring rust tonight, picking up the win here in this tag team bout over the champions. We then get Kathy Kelly with Charlotte Flair. And she goes, "My guest, Charlotte Flair." And Charlotte walks in by herself. Charlotte Kathy goes, "Tonight, you're making things official. You and Nova Nebula at WrestleMania, Last week, the Queen's Court, And then Charlotte goes, "I don't want to talk about them, Kathy. Okay? WrestleMania is not about Jordan or Aaliyah or Skylar. It's about me and Nova. Okay? And how I'm going to prove the world wrong for those of you who think that I need the Queen's Court to win. I'm better than Nova. Because I'm a Flair. I'm a part of a royal dynasty here in WWE. And that's going to carry me all the way to the top all by myself. Nova Nebula can only wish she was as genetically gifted as I am. All she does is sit there daydreaming about what the stars are telling her WrestleMania is going to look like. You don't need to, okay? Nova, the only star you need to look at and read is right here. Watch my lips. You are going to lose at WrestleMania because I win. When a championship is on the line in big matches, I win. That is what I do. Okay, well, that's enough from me. I'll see you out there later on tonight, and we'll go over this more, girl. Cody, video package. Because he's going to be on SmackDown this week. Him, Roman, and Seth face to face. Final time of our Mania. So we're just going to get a video package like the ones they were airing before the Rumble in real life. About his road and how he's coming in. And he's coming to take the WWE Championship at WrestleMania Sunday. And yeah, just to get Cody on the show. 70 rated match. Drew McIntyre Claymores Bobby Fish in 3 minutes 44. Because, last week, where's the lie and all that. There were times where there was a lack of psychology and the match turned into drift. Sure there was, game. 88 for Drew, 60 for Bobby Fish. And Drew just picks him up, dumps him out of the ring, and he goes, well, now that's dealt with. Okay, it's time for me to focus on what's really important, and that's WrestleMania, and that's Bray Wyatt. Okay? Because it's kind of burning me out at this point. This entire crap. Bray's going to come out here. He's going to say the exact same shit. It's not me. I'm not the one sending these puppets after you. I don't care who it is, Bray. Send as many of these people out here you want. I'll kick all their heads off. And I'll kick your head off too. So, come out here, Bray. Come out here and show your face. Out come Howdy, Susanna, and the puppets. No Bray. Andre Drew goes, of course Bray Wyatt's not here because he's a coward, okay? Because he relied, okay, Susanna, Uncle, who, how, and when. Listen here, okay? You tell Bray Wyatt this. Because I know what's happening here. Bray thought that he could get in my head with all this crap that I'm looking at in front of me. Okay, all I'm seeing is a bunch of idiots in cosplay. I don't get rattled, I don't get nervous, I don't get scared. I'm going to WrestleMania and I'm going to win, okay? I don't care which one of you is going to come and get your head kicked off. But it'll happen. So, you can find Bray wherever he's at, and you can tell him this. Drew McIntyre is not afraid of your silly little games. And the puppets sort of like to stand around on the stage. Susanna and Uncle Howdy stand there as well. And Drew goes, what? You're not going to do anything? Huh? Did Bray not give you permission? And then they sort of just all turn and leave. And Drew goes, okay, I see. Okay, yes, of course. I see what's happening here. Huskus the Pig has a poor gimmick. Rambler Rabbit has an adequate gimmick. Handle changes. Mercy. Adequate. Sure. Okay, so I'm trying to remember who these people are under these masks. Who is Huskus? Oh yeah, I know who Huskus is. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Booster psychology for Huskus the Pig? Bonus men look dominant. Okay, sure. But they get a sit-down interview, Jimmy Smith's with Sasha Banks. And she's talking about Rhea Ripley, Jimmy says, Sasha, you've had a lot of opportunities over the last couple of months, back on TV sets, I hear Mandalorian new season's going well. And now you're back here in WWE. And you're back for Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And Sasha goes, that does say a lot, doesn't it, Jimmy, I have my feet in other doors, okay? I could go out and do whatever I wanted to do, but I chose to come back. I chose to be here in WWE because this is my home, okay? This is where my heart lies. And I didn't appreciate Rhea Ripley trying to take that away from me back in November. Okay? I don't appreciate Rhea Ripley trying to take that away from me in the Elimination Chamber. I don't appreciate Rhea Ripley at all. Okay? She may have been the dominant champion. She may have held this brand down while I was away. But now I'm back, Rhea. And your first mistake was trying to take me out because I will not go away. and I'll come back badder than ever. And one more thing that you have to know, Rhea, is that you may think that you're the nightmare, but bitch, I don't have nightmares. I have dreams, and I achieve them. And I have one more dream, and that's my dream of going to WrestleMania and putting you down, embarrassing you in front of the world. See you there. And then Sasha just be the camera's on Sasha's face, and then we just see a boot just fly into frame and just knock Sasha. She boots Sasha Banks in the side of the head. She, like, the chair tips over. Sasha falls to the floor, and Rhea's there, and she just climbs on Sasha, starts mounting her with punches. Jimmy Smith runs away, is like, come on, we need help here, we need help, security. And then Sasha just throws, or Rhea just throws Sasha, like, imagine there's like a couch or something, she throws her over the couch, it rolls over, throws her into a wall, pins her up against the wall, or some shit, and goes, a lot of bold words when I wasn't around, Sasha, hey? Don't want to say any of them to my face, because you know, compared to me, you're just a sorry little girl. And at WrestleMania, I'ma finish the job. Then she just drops her on the floor, and the security sort of like escort Rhea away. Triple H is in the ring. He's hosting the contract signing for Charlotte and Nova for the Raw Women's Championship. He goes introducing first the challenger, Nova Nebula. Out comes Nova. She takes a seat at the table. Then out comes Charlotte. Alone. No Queen's Court this week. And she takes a seat as well. And he goes, the first person to sign will be the challenger, Nova Nebula. Nova just signs straight away and just hands the pen over to Charlotte and goes, sign it, come on. And she goes, wow, you know, you're really keen, aren't you? I mean, I would be too, like, don't get me wrong. If I wasn't Charlotte Flair and I had the chance to wrestle Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, I'd be keen to sign this contract too. But you've got to know what you're getting yourself in for, Nova. Before I sign this, I need to give you a little rundown of what I do. Okay? Do you know who else was rather keen to step into the ring with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania? Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, at WrestleMania 7 years ago. I won that match. Do you know who else was rather keen to step into the ring with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania? Asuka, the undefeated Asuka. Over 2 years undefeated in WWE. She was rather keen to step into the ring with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania to get herself the biggest win of her entire streak. Guess what happened then, Nova? Do you know who else was rather keen to step into the ring with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, who forced Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair to face her? Rhea Ripley. How did that end up, huh? So, you know, bravo, you know, beating me is one thing. Beating me at WrestleMania cements you in the history books. And girl, looking at you, you may have won the Elimination Chamber. You beat 5 of the very best Raw has to offer. 5 of the very best in WWE today. But you don't have it. Okay? What do you have that Asuka, Rhea, Sasha, Becky, all these people didn't have? What makes you think you can get the job done? You're a little alien girl. I'm a royal legacy, dynasty. Wrestling is in my blood. You can't beat me. And at WrestleMania, I'm going to prove it, why I am the queen. And I'm going to do it without Jordan, Aaliyah, and Skylar. Then Nova, she takes the mic. She goes, you done? Okay. So, you made a lot of good points, you know. What do I have that all those women you mentioned doesn't have? You know, those are some of the very best women in the history of WWE. But what I have, I was told that I didn't have enough to win the Elimination Chamber. I was told that I was never going to win that. And I was even told I was even going to make it here in the first place. But over the last year, what I've done is really prove those naysayers wrong. And if you want to become one of those naysayers, then you're the next person to get proven wrong, because you like to take a lot of shots at me in my life and how I spend my free time. But let me tell you something. I'd rather spend my time doing what I like and what interests me than growing up pampered with a silver spoon in my mouth and being handed everything here? Because who have you overcome? What have you overcome, Charlotte, huh? Nothing. You were brought up to the main roster and you were handed the Divas title on your first night, basically. You were groomed as the heir apparent next face of the women's revolution. Whereas I, girls like me, came up with you on top already. So if I need to cement my name in history by putting you down, then by God, I'm going to do it. Because what have I really got to lose? You mentioned all those names. Asuka. You mentioned Rhea Ripley. What do those women had a lot to lose. Asuka had her streak. Rhea had her title. I've got nothing to lose. I lose to Charlotte Flair. I'm just another woman who couldn't get the job done, and I'll come back better and stronger and better than ever, and I'll beat you at some other time. Those are the facts about this, but when I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, that's when I'm at my most dangerous. Okay? And none of those women are anything like me. And I can see that you are getting nervous because you don't have your court out here, because you expected them to finish me off. But they didn't. Because I won't be stopped, and I will be going to WrestleMania. And I'll be staring you dead in the eyes on the grandest stage of them all and telling you to your face, I'm ready, and I've arrived, and I'm the next Raw Women's Champion. And then Charlotte just laughs. She goes, well, we'll have to see about that one, won't we, sis? Okay. And then she just gets up and leaves. And Viv like, okay, yeah, leave, okay. That's fine. I don't need to fight now. We'll fight on Sunday. I don't, go and do whatever it is that's so important for you, maybe, say your final goodbyes to your championship. Because it won't be yours. This time next week, I'll be standing here, the face of the Raw Women's Division. They get a quick training vignette from Ichiban. In their strong style dojo, Suzuki's training Nakamura and, the young lion, Ukuro Serizawa. Ahead of WrestleMania, it'll be Suzuki and Nakamura against Zergis and Humberto Carrillo for the Raw Tag Team Championships. They get AJ and Finn making their entrance. And then we go to commercial, but then come back and AJ and Finn are in the ring. Out comes Jeff Jarrett and Baron Corbin. And Jarrett's like, listen up, slab nuts. Okay, this Sunday, myself and my main man, Baron Corbin here, we're going to get, as you know, it's on Saturday. The tag match on Saturday. Corbin's on the Battle Royal on Sunday. Yeah, never mind. This Saturday, my man, Baron Corbin here is going to get his first of 2 big WrestleMania paydays. Because, boy, when it comes to making money in this business, guys like AJ Styles and Finn Balor, these old has-been past it's only just now getting their big break. But when you're working guys like me, you're working guys like Corbin, we know how to make the most, maximize our money to get that bag, get that bread. And who better to help personify the act of myself and Corbin being some of the richest, most money-securing men in this business, than of our own personal investor, a man who's lost his way over on SmackDown recently, Mr. Cameron Grimes. And out comes Grimes. And he goes, well, thank you, Jeff. I thought over all these time when I was losing over on SmackDown that, hey, maybe money can't buy me happiness. But I was dead wrong, okay? Because when I'm with like-minded individuals like Double J and like BC, I see that there's only one thing that matters. Wins and losses, they are only temporary. Making money, making bank is forever. And now, with me by their side, the entire collective here of, I can't remember what I called them, high rollers, maybe, going to the moon. And then Cameron Grimes is here, and he just said that wins and losses don't matter to him. So he won't really care when AJ Styles beats him with a phenomenal forearm in 7:32. They don't have any chemistry, so he gets a 69, whatever, sure. 66 for AJ, 56 for Cameron Grimes. So yeah, he had to be a part of this crew, basically. Grimes had to be here as the investor for the bag-getting duo of Baron Corbin and Jeff Jarrett. And AJ gets the big win anyway, and we head on to WrestleMania, where it'll be AJ Styles and Finn Balor against Jarrett and Corbin on Saturday. Yes, that is on Saturday. Triple H is in his office. Bianca walks up, and she goes, "Hey boss, can I get a word?" He goes, "What is it, Bianca?" And he goes, me and Tutami at WrestleMania, we're going to go out there, we're going to steal the damn show. But, last week she came over here and she took control of the show. She disrespected me and Raw. So, how about it? SmackDown this Friday night, I want to be there. And I once again want to see Utami face to face, and we're going to settle this like women. Because there's only going to be one franchise player, one ace of this women's division. It ain't going to be her, Hannah. It's going to be the EST. And Triple H goes, "Well, that sounds good to me, Bianca, knock yourself out. Go over to SmackDown and meet Utami face to face." And Bianca goes, "Oh, girl, that's going to be so BEST. 80, okay, whatever. Oh, God, I was wrong, okay." I was laughing because Alexa in that segment in catering was like, "Oh, the other girls that aren't booked tonight." And it had Tegan and Kylie in it. But I forgot they were in this match. After last week's segment, where J-Flo came out during the showcase for the Women's Battle Royal, we're now going to get 5v5, the entire J-Flo army against Florence, Julia, Sonya Deville, Tegan Nox, and Kylie Ray. And it is the non-J-Flo girls who win. Florence pins Mizuki, Haterade in 8:36. 78 for Florence, 84 for Julia, 75 for Sonya, 71 for Tegan, 62 for Kylie, 79 for Maki, 74 for Mina, 75 for Tam, 64 for Mizuki, and a 68 for Marika. And yes, that is 1/3, 1/4. I can't remember how many people. I think it's normally 40 I put in these battle royals, isn't it? I haven't worked out who's in them yet, but these are all going to be in them because they're not booked on WrestleMania. But yeah, this is a good portion of the battle royal here. Then after the match, we're going to get the segment, every single woman throws a member of J-Flo over the top rope. Then Julia and Sonya Deville throw Tegan Nox and Kylie Ray over the top rope. If that happens at WrestleMania, they'll be eliminated. And then, probably, Florence would stare down with Julia and Sonya. And then Julia would grab Sonya from behind and toss her over because, every woman for herself and all that shit. But then we get the Florence and Julia face-off. The highly anticipated, probably the two favourites in the entire Battle Royal. Two people who probably should have been on the main WrestleMania card, but, finding room for Tatum Paxley was more important. And they get a face-off. I know a lot of people specifically would be excited for that. And, yeah, will this be the final two come WrestleMania Saturday? I can't remember who Asuka won it last year, didn't she? Yes. So actually, since I've taken over creative in this company, Naomi and Carmella won it before, I think, in 2018, 2019, and then there wasn't one in 2020. But since I've been booking this, we've had Rhea Ripley and Asuka win this Battle Royal. So, big things await for whoever wins the Women's Battle Royal. So, it is actually something that you do want to try and win in this world. Oh my goodness. There wasn't even a story. Gunther and Randy Orton get 99 in the main event. Gunther gets a 96, Randy Orton gets an 80, right. So, finished is Imperium are out there with Gunther And then Edge comes out to try and even the odds because that's the WrestleMania match will be Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci against Rated RKO. And then when he's still overwhelmed, out come the rest of the Real Coalition. They brawl off with Imperium and Edge through the crowd, once again leaving just Gunnar and Randy in the ring. Randy goes for an RKO on Gunnar. He sort of catches him in midair, tosses him, pushes him away. Randy turns around, massive chop. Randy Orton drops like a sack of shit, and then he hits that last symphony finish, and Gunnar pins Randy Orton to punch his, well, not really punch his ticket to WrestleMania, but like get the momentum heading into the show. 96 for Gunnar, 80 for Randy Orton, and 99 for the match. So, after all this time, I've been going, hey, I'm going to book these matches at WrestleMania. These could easily get 100 or 99. Turns out the main event of the Go Home episode of Raw gets a 99, which is, bizarre. I mean, not really. It's Gunnar versus Randy Orton, but the show ends with a big old schmoz. We get Ilja, Pete, and Dudley running back in to brawl with Gunnar and each other. And then Randy Orton and Edge brawling with Giovanni and Ludwig around ringside. And then I imagine the final pose is Gunnar has his arms behind his back with the title over his shoulder. And then the little graphic comes up in the bottom corner, like as we sign off to go to WrestleMania. But then right as like the screen starts fading to black, Ilja flies in and drops Gunnar with the torpedo mask out. And then that's how we go off the air with that cliffhanger going, oh my god, what just happened? Did Ilja just fucking clock Gunnar? Is he going to beat him? If that happens at WrestleMania, we could have a new World Heavyweight Champion. But yes, that is the end of the Go Home episode of Raw. We made it through in one piece, As long as I don't book any of the women set for Mania on Heat, we made it without any more injuries. 95. That is an awesome Go Home show. But we are not done here tonight. There's still one more show to go through before we get there, and that is Heat. Heat kicks off with Mandy and JC in the Toxic Lounge, talking again about how, WrestleMania not having the Toxic attraction on it is a travesty. But, there's always going to be a silver lining, and that is that when it comes to this Battle Royal, me and JC are going to work together and eliminate the field, and we're going to go and make that Battle Royal toxic, etc., etc. We're going to beat everybody in that field and all that stuff. And then out comes Tracy Sharrow for a match with Mandy Rose. Mandy wins 10 minutes and 19 seconds of a bed of roses. And 71 for Mandy, 46 for Tracy. And I guess Tracy Sharrow will also be in the Battle Royal because she's technically signed to Heat. So she's technically under a main roster contract. So 60 rated tag match. I'll take that considering the other team involved here. Yoko Miko beat Coral Justice and Jakara Jackson, the team known as the Bad Bees in NXT. Which, you could probably work out. There might be a third member I have down there at the minute. But they are the tag team, Coral Justice, which is Red Velvet, and Jakara Jackson. And Yoko pins Jakara with a Micah Cutter in 8:38. 75 for Yoko, 50 for Kamiko, 19 for Jakara, and a 37 for Coral, even. Not too shabby. Then Killer Kelly's back in action. She beats Thea Hale, 7:28 with a super kick. 56 for Kelly, 32 for Thea. And the main event is a 76, which, I think I say this every time I run this match, but these are two teams I've had on my roster since 2020. So to see them just with no assistance, just getting 76 rated tag matches, shows how far we've come. But it is J-Flow's Mackie and Tam defeating Platinum Princesses. Mackie pins Aaliyah with a diving headbutt. 75 for Skylar, 71 for Aaliyah, 75 for Tam, and a 79 for Mackie. And so ends Heat's final show before WrestleMania. The next time we'll see the stars of Monday Night Raw will be at the show itself. But before we do get there, we do have one more episode of SmackDown and Velocity to get through. And, we've got a lot set for that show. John Cena's going to be there, Brock Lesnar's going to be there, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins are all going to be there. Hopefully you're going to be there too. See you then.